Okay. Well, welcome to your practice, and it's an honor to have you here. It's an honor to guide your practice. I mean that deeply from my heart. So I want to, as we begin this restorative practice, to think of like the word of resource. You know, resource. We kind of say it like that, resource. But to resource what you have, and then to tap into source. You know, that potential place where we hold tension, we hold stress, and it's also the place of our power. And so if we can tap into our source energy and drop ourselves in deeply, then that is the practice of restorative, is to resource yourself. And as we're moving into this dark time of year, I just want to share with you this I stumbled upon today, and I was thinking of resource, and it just spoke to me. But this time of year has always been the most potent time to drop deeper into your center, further into your inner life, and all the elements are aligned for you to do this. And what I love about that is that we are, you know, especially where we live, we can connect deeply to the elements of nature. And when we take those elements of nature, water, air, earth, fire, and we feel them within, this is how we connect, right? This is how we resource ourselves, is to feel into the fire, into the water, into the earth, which is the matter of your body, the air, which is your breath, you know, the waters, which is the fluid that lives within you. And we bring all of that into this practice tonight. Okay, so starting with your hands as they are, and we'll take the thumb and just touch the pinky. And closing your eyes, resting your hands if they need to move back, or just finding a place where you feel the shoulders can rest, kind of drop, elbows can drop. Softening your face, even letting the jaw fall open. Just feeling the elements here in the most basic, the element of earth, your body, your heaviness, the matter of you. And even as we drop the shoulders, or you rest your legs, your feet, feeling into the heaviness of your bones, the muscles. Even feeling the organs within you, they all carry weight. And feeling into the element of air, and the flow of your breath, and the movement that the breath elicits. And tuning into the flow of the breath moving the inner organs within you. Even just imagining the organs floating with the breath. And to also go deeper and imagine, inside is fluid, that these organs are, bouncing in their fluid and moving in liquid. And then taking that breath movement all the way down to where you hold water in your body, just below the navel. And now taking the thumb and holding the index finger and the middle finger pad. Soften your eyes. And here, just feeling that you're cooling the fires within you with your breath, with the water, with the heaviness of your body. That everything can be liquid, fire quenching, body softening. And bowing your chin. Release your hand mudra and bring the palms together at your heart. And just open this practice with just a quiet mantra, and you can just say it to yourself in your head or out loud. We're just going to say 3 times, I am connecting to my source. So we'll inhale. I am connecting to my source. Inhale. I am connecting to my source. Inhale. I am connecting to my source. And then releasing your hands to your thighs. And you can keep your chin bowed, open your eyes slightly. If you have a candle, you can just focus on the candle for a moment or two. Just feel yourself dropping into all that you are. Fire of the candle. And then stretch the feet out. Just move your legs around a little bit. Good. And then grab your socks and your oil. And, rubbing our feet in this way as we do is a great way to just ground yourself. Like if we think about an electrical socket. Art's computer. Okay, it's going to take care of that. So if you think of your legs as an electrical socket, and your feet, like if they plug in, like when you're standing on your 2 feet and you plug them into the earth, and push down as we do sometimes in practice, and maybe when you're out for a walk, and we're grounding ourselves, we're plugging in. So when we offer our feet this little bit of love, connection, of warmth, of awakening, and of gratitude, then we are dropping into source. We are connecting to that which grounds us, carries us. Good. Okay. I'm just going to sock this little guy and move on to the next one. But you take your time. However you can get to this foot, that's something maybe also to be grateful for. You can reach your foot, love it up in this way. Okay. And then I'm going to sock this one. Take your time. Okay. All right, and then for this first pose, we did this one last week, so I'll have one blanket at the front for my head, and I'm just going to actually adjust this camera. There, okay. Hopefully that'll be good. Okay, so I have one blanket here for my head, and then I'll put the bolster in the center of my mat. I have my heating pad on top. For the blanket. Okay, and then I'm going to take another blanket, and I'm just going to open it up about halfway, and I'll put it at the back here. So it's okay if it's, this is just going to be for your legs. So I have the bolster in the middle, a blanket for my head, and you could open this one up too, nice and wide, if you like. Okay, and then from here, I'm just going to take my sweater off so you can see. It's going to lie over the bolster so that my chest is off and my head will rest on my hands. And then I'm going to take the legs out to the side. So it's almost like a reverse Baddha Konasana, but the soles of the feet don't have to come together. And the knees don't have to bend that much. And so once you're in it, you might be like, oh, I want more support for underneath my knees, in which case you might open the blanket up all the way. So you can, just roll yourself back, adjust to what you need. Okay, now once you're in it, you might be just perfectly fine. But I like to grab the top of the blanket and I'll just roll it a couple times just to support, more the hairline of my forehead. So the knees bend out. Okay, and you can support with your head with your hands, or if you're going to use the blanket roll, then the arms are going to go into a cowboy surrender. So that's where I bend the elbows, palms face down. Okay, now you're here. And the other thing I didn't mention is that if you feel you're going to be chilly and you want a blanket to cover you, then just pop back up and place that. Okay. And you take the first few moments to just see how everything is. If something doesn't feel right, take the time to adjust it. So if you want more support for underneath your knees, take the time, come up, do it again, like whatever you need, so that you are comfortable. Okay, it can be simple. Nope. Okay. So your chest is off the bolster, your belly's on the bolster, groin's on the bolster, knees out to the side in a comfortable way. And then you're resting your head in some way. First few moments might be a little bit of discomfort, maybe in your back or the inner thighs, anywhere you're feeling that. Let's drop into the elements of you. So the body is heavy, the bones are heavy. Let the jaw be heavy. Your teeth, your eyes, the back of your heart, and your mid-back, low back, your inner hips, inner thighs, your knees, ankles, soles of your feet, and feeling your arms heavy, however you've rested them, and your hands relaxed. As you release your heaviness, your earth body, your bones, your muscles, just let everything melt towards the floor. And then tuning into the element of air and the easy flow of your breath. Just feeling the body being breathed. If you wish from here, you can invite in some of Riti breathing, this equal balanced breathing. So as you inhale, you count maybe 4, 5, 6, however long it takes you to inhale. And you count that same number for your exhale. And you can do a few rounds, even as many as you like, and then just let it go. And if you feel you want to start it up again as we rest here, that's fine. And just in some way, spending this time just really connecting to the healing flow of your breath. If you happen to have your head turned to one side, and just turning it to the opposite side. Dropping it. If you're still resting on your forehead, and just turning your head now one direction. And resting here again, just dropping in. Just feeling your breath, filling your back body. And just lifting your head and turning it the opposite way. So we're going to come up out of this. And you can press yourself up to your hands and your knees. And perhaps you might want to move into child's pose or just sit. And if you want to move into child's pose, you have everything here. You could even take that blanket you had your head on and just kind of make your bolster a little higher, if you like. I'm just folding it up on top. And then I'll just drop in here. And I'll wrap my arms underneath the bolster, like I'm giving it a hug. And I'll turn my head to one side. And just rest in here. If it's no good for you, just come to seated. And then just lifting your head and turning it the opposite way and dropping back in. And just coming up and just move your hips over. Just open your legs out once you come up, right? Just stretch your legs out and just take a moment or two here. You can move your feet in and out. Okay. So here's the next one. I'm going to take the bolster and just send it towards the end of the mat. And then that other blanket that I had for my head before, I just kind of pulled it and put it onto the bolster. So I'm just going to fold it and just use it like as a head support. So I'll just toss it at the end of the bolster. Okay, then we'll turn around. Okay, so I'm going to sit in the middle of my mat with my hips, the bolster's right behind. And I have this other blanket here. And I'm just going to roll this blanket up into like a little sausage. And I want to use this to support my heels. So I'll put my ankles on there. Hope you can see. Okay, so here you might want your eye pillow and something else to cover yourself maybe. We're going to lie back over this in what's called Shavasana 2. If you lie back and your back isn't happy, then you just push the bolster away a little further. You can push it all the way so, maybe your bottom ribs rest on the bolster. And so you can see how that is. You can have it in close, further away. And then you have your blanket for your head. And if your head needs more support, I'm just going to fold it over. Once, yeah. Okay. And then you can cover yourself if you like. And if your legs aren't happy with the support just underneath the heels, then feel free to pull it up and place it underneath your knees if that's better for you. Okay, so you take the first few moments What I do automatically, as soon as I come down, I'm going to anchor my heels or backs of the Achilles into the floor, lift my hips, and then I just put the hips back down. And sometimes just lifting and putting them back, and it finds everything really nice. So I hope you're comfortable and your head feels supported, back of the head supported, so that you feel the forehead is sloping down towards the chin. Your eye pillow can go over your forehead and just lightly cover your eyes if that's better, or all the way, it's fine. Okay, now your arms can open out to the side, but if that's too much for your shoulders, then bend the elbows, place the hands on the body, or come out, find some extra blankets you can put underneath your elbows and your forearms. Okay, so take the time, what you need to create the optimal space to drop into your source, to connect to your breath, the element of air, and to feel here that every exhalation is the invitation for the earth body, the heaviness of you, to just melt into all of the support of the earth, of the bolsters, of the floor, of the people you're practicing with right here, right now. And people who, you take care of, they take care of you. You tap into the source of your great love, and the love that surrounds you, even if you don't feel it physically. Release your earth body heavy into all the support. Notice where your breath is filling. We want to start to guide that opening up a little higher. Maybe more into the solar plexus area, just where the ribs join. You can even take a hand and just hold it there if you're not sure where the ribs join. And even the back of the ribs, side of the ribs. And just inviting the element of air, the expansion of your inhale and the release of the exhale to be in the bottom part of your ribs, the bottom part of your upper chest, of your, let me say it again, your lower chest area. Just above the navel, maybe about 2 inches above the navel and where the base of the ribs are. Just guiding your awareness there and feeling the breath expand and contract here. And so sometimes I say this is like, the bellows fanning the flames of fire. But here I want to feel that we are just expanding the element of water to quench the fire, to quiet the fire, to calm the fire. And feeling that element of air expanding through the bottom ribs is inviting the element of water to cool the fire and to release this body and its heaviness to the earth. To be grounded and connected to Source. Our next pose from here will be Baddha Konasana. And so you might even just use your feet to kind of pull that blanket roll up and then move into the soles of the feet together, knees open. And if that's not enough support, you can play with the blanket roll, see if you can get some nice support. But if that's not enough for you, then you're going to roll off of your bolster. You grab your blocks or some more blankets or pillows and place more support underneath your knees, your thighs, with the soles of the feet together. The soles of the feet together. And you can stay on the bolster as is. If it's no good and you want to put a block or 2 blocks underneath it to make it higher, as we do sometimes, you can do that. Otherwise, just make whatever adjustments you need to have the chest elevated, head supported, soles of the feet together, knees open. Settle in. So you take the time, even if you went in and you're like, I think I'm okay. Now you're like, oh, maybe not. And I'm going to give you a few moments to place the props, whatever you need. And to drop in to this shape. Okay, so assuming you have everything you need to be comfortable, you can smile, nothing gripping. And just coming back to the heaviness of your earth body and the opening flow of breath. And noticing where the breath is now filling, how things have changed with the shape of the legs. So feeling that the breath has moved down to the pelvic bowl. Maybe you feel below the navel and all the way down to the base of you, the base of the spine, the base of your pelvic bowl. And feeling the breath expanding this pelvic bowl from the inside of your hips through to the low back and the low belly. And as you create this basin with your breath, or you reacquaint yourself to this spaciousness here, feel here the element of water. Held by the earth, and how water and earth nourish each other. Feel yourself liquid. Maybe you feel that that bowl fills, and the liquid within you, your liquid body, can spread out and fill the earth body. All the way through the torso, the arms, right out into the tips of your fingers. Your inner body can spread out. Down your legs, to the soles of your feet and the tips of your toes. Maybe all the way up to the crown of your head. Like water fills the container it's in, your liquid body fills all the spaciousness offered in your body right now. You've been listening to the waves of your breath, the waves of the ocean within you. Water is cleansing, clearing. It's feeling this water, offering you space to cool and to clear and to cleanse, to let go, to clear, to clean. It's coming back perhaps to the counting of your breathing. If you need to focus that way. You're just letting your breath be as it is. Starting to maybe lift your knees up, and we'll place the feet on the floor. And we'll just take basic resting. So you'll walk your feet wide, drop the knees together. And if you need to push the feet down, lift your hips and then put them back down for a moment. Just be there. Just walk the feet together. Roll yourself over to one side. If you have an eye pillow, you can just hold it with your hand as you come over, and we'll just rest in the fetal position for a breath or two. And then you can release the eye pillow and press yourself up. And as you come up, just take a moment to just sit and to just feel and be and notice. You can sit on your bolster if you like. You can have your legs stretched out or crossed, just maybe bowing your chin. Okay. So our next pose is going to be legs up the wall. And I didn't say to move by a wall. So if you don't have a wall, maybe you have a couch or something, or you could even just roll your blankets up and create like a little lift for your legs. Okay, so if you don't have a wall, then I'll show you how we're going to do this. But if you have a wall, I'm going to use the bolster to rest the hips on. And I put the bolster, it could be far from the wall. We haven't done like a big yoga practice. Your legs aren't super stretched. So if you want to go away from the wall quite a bit, that's totally fine. A nice thing is to have a blanket too to wrap your legs up. And so I'll just put the middle of my blanket, I'll put the feet in there, and then I just kind of wrap, I'll grab the blanket and just kind of wrap them tight. So, okay, if you don't have that, then you're just going to use a bunch of blankets. You're going to lie flat on the floor. You could even use your bolster blankets on top, and you'll rest your legs on top of there, just so that your back is on the floor, but your legs are elevated. So I sit in the center of my bolster, and the side I'm going to lie on first, I'll take that arm out, and I come to lie down, and then I'll wiggle my tush closer to the wall, and then you'll roll onto your back. And hopefully, everything works out well, and the bolster is in a good, comfortable place. So we've elevated the hips. So we feel a little bit heavier in the back of the heart. The head is on the ground. You're welcome to put a blanket under your head if you like. Have a little bit of a lift. Just going to wrap my legs up here so they stay together. And then you can bring your eye pillow in. Probably be a good idea to grab it before you get into the pose. Okay. Yes. So some head support if you want that. That can be nice. And then you kind of say, okay, is this good for me? Am I in a good place? If it's no good, maybe you want to bend your knees and just set your feet against the wall. You can do that anytime as we rest here. So your legs will start to feel tingly. That's just part of having the legs elevated. So if that's not good for you, bend your knees or come on out and just lie flat on your back. Okay. So hopefully you're settled and you feel comfortable. So you can feel the back of the heart heavy on the floor, head on the floor or supported by your blanket. Just a little bit. Good. So arms out to the side or resting on your belly, wherever you like. I'm just taking a few moments to let everything settle. And to just bring yourself back into connecting to the element of earth, and the heaviness of the body, the back of the head, the jaw, the sides of your neck, the front of your throat. back of your heart, your right arm, your left arm, your belly, your pelvic bowl, your right leg, your left leg, the soles of your feet, the palms of your hands. Just breathe your way into heaviness and into your fluid. Into your element of air. Into the element of fire. Quenching, quieting the fire. Dropping into the water and the earth. To the support of all that holds you, all that's important to you. Rest into that support. Receive it. Feel yourself held. Release yourself. Resource. Reconnect. Replenish. I am connecting to my source. I am connecting to my source. I am resourcing and connecting to my source. If you're comfortable and legs up the wall, then you can stay here for the next 5 or 4 minutes we have in the pose. If you'd like to move yourself into just lying flat for Shavasana, just bring your legs down. You can hug them into your chest for a moment or two, and then rediscover your pose into whatever feels good. You're welcome to stay as you are, or move into lying down Shavasana if you wish. Wherever you are, legs up the wall or lying down, starting to bring some movement into your ankles, your wrists, your fingers, maybe your toes. And if your legs are still up the wall, you can just bend your knees, place your feet on the wall if that's comfortable. Just pause here for maybe 2-3 breaths. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest. So however you are, if you're lying down, bend your knees, bring them into your chest, and maybe rock the knees in and out a few times or side to side, a little bit of moving, and bring yourself onto your side and rest in the fetal position here for 5 full breaths. Bringing yourself up to seated again very gently. And sit on your props. You might even barely open your eyes. And just coming to rest in your seated pose. And joining your palms together in front of your heart. Just keeping the thumbs and the pinkies pressed together, the base of the palms together, and just moving the inner three fingers for a moment. Just feeling the element of air, the element of water, the element of earth. Sealing your hands back together, bowing your chin. And acknowledging the element of fire. And keeping the elements in balance within you as best as you can. And by honoring your source, your resources, all the tools you have to tap into to guide you. And let this practice be one of those tools. So just honoring the work you've done right here, and honoring your presence. And as you inhale, lengthen, lift your chin, and as you exhale, stay as you are. And we'll seal this practice with one Om. Inhale. Bow your chin and bring your thumbs up to rest on your third eye. Connect to the space. And then inhale, lift your head back up. And exhale, release your hands down in front of your heart. And gently open your eyes. And with great love and honoring, my friends, thank you so much. Namaste from my heart, from my heart. Namaste. Yes.